What's the creative team on that book? I'm not sure. I mean, Thor 2007 doesn't tell me much that I remember off the top of my head. Who drew it? Is it the Olivier Coipel, which is how I think you say his name? Smokes like a hippie. Yes, this is my comic. Yeah, Penguin. It's kind of hard for me to say without knowing who the creative team is. I read a Thor run a while back when it was coming out. The really great artist, that Olivier, I think he's French, I believe, were like Thor, and all of the Asgardians were gone, and so Asgard kind of reforms as a big city in like southern, like southwestern United States somewhere. Something like that. I read that and I enjoyed it. If that's the one you're talking about. The one that I'm thinking of, it definitely wasn't Billy Tan drawing it. I mean, maybe it's an offshoot part of that storyline that he drew, but the one that I read was not Billy Tan. So it does make me kind of curious as to which one it is you've got. What up, Shockula, you big hoe? Tyraz, what's up? Yeah, it looks like Oliver Coipel, but I believe it's French, and I believe I heard his name pronounced as Olivier Coipel. So that's not me trying to sound fancy. It's just it's what I think it is. Yeah, if that's the one you're reading, I read that and I loved it. I thought it was great there, Penguin. I enjoyed that a lot. It was kind of like a jumping on point kind of story for people to about Thor and Asgard with the big castle thing being dropped in the middle of, like I said, I thought it was like southwestern United States, something like that. I actually haven't read it in a long time, but it is on my intention to bust it out and review it on the channel at some point. I think it was written by, isn't it Straczynski? J. Michael Straczynski's writing that? Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Like a lot of comics of that era, it was going along really good, and then it gets caught up in another crossover, and so then the writer has to go detract into that world, and it derails the story, and it never has like what I felt like was a definitive ending. It just kind of got sucked into up into the crossover universe and on to the next thing, and it drove me nuts. Yeah, I completely agree. The problem is that for the longest time, and I think especially now, I don't know. I guess I don't know what things are like now, but crossovers are what made money. It got people talking, and it's like even though everyone complained about them, it seems like they just kept doing crossover after crossover because it sold. If it's done well, it's kind of okay-ish, but I remember hearing about a lot of writers that get pissed off because they're forced, you know, you got to stop your story and go and do this crossover that's not part of what you're doing, and it just fucks up everything. And they hate it, and I get it. I can understand that. Like, I'm telling a story here. Leave me alone. And it's even more rough is if you're writing a book and you're writing something that's popular. They're like, we need to have your book as part of this crossover. You're one of the highest selling titles. Yeah, but it'll fuck it up. cross hatching or line weights, or the thin line to thick line into the heavy black area, and then fill in the black later. I don't know why, it just works easier for me that way. But when I was younger and didn't know anything, I used to do it the opposite way. Like, I'll fill in the blacks and then come do the line work out of the... Yeah, that's... And if I can recall correctly, I seem to think that I see a lot of the regular inkers do it the same way. There's several professional inkers I follow on Instagram, and it seems like they all do it the same way. I think I see Dexter Vines and what's his name? Mark Morales? Sorry, I'm adjusting my stupid swing arm here. I don't mean to make the camera jump everywhere. Live Say is another inker. It seems like they all kind of do the same thing. So, probably giving everybody some motion sickness swinging around like that. But actually, birria tiny taco. Nate! Oi, you Australian bitch. It's Christmas over there where Nate's at. You're messaging from the future. That's awesome. What's it like in the future? Do the monster ants win? Does technology take over and kill us all? That's funny, dude. Well, Nate, one of those things I like and one of those things I do not. Damien King, do I approve of creators like Mark Millar making books to promote to film, TV, or should they be purely for comics making? You know what? Honestly, that's none of my business. I get your point, and I'm not trying to like dance around it. If I feel like the comics are meant or made from a genuine place, and he's trying to make good comics with good artists, and the comics stand on their own, I'm like, more power to you. Go get movies made from it. Go make millions of dollars if you can. We all want money. We all want to be comfortable. But if it's like, if a book is created only to sell it to a movie studio, then it's not from a pure place. And, you know, that's still none of my business. A person can do whatever they want. It just means I'm not going to pick it up. You know, if it feels like a cheap kind of cash grab thing. But I don't get that vibe from Mark Millar. I can't say why. I feel like he really likes comics. I really do. But he's also business savvy. He wants to make money. Yeah, Nate kind of says it right there. Yeah. And I like the idea that he gets a creative team and he pays a lot of money to them, you know. It seems like he hooks up with a lot of these creators, these artists, and says, "Hey, let's create something new. Let's make it awesome, and then we'll sell it to a studio. And if we're lucky, we, not me, the writer, but we, artist and writer, and all of us, we all benefit." And I think if they're, you know, taking care of each other, I mean, I would love to be in that position. I would love to be in a position to be able to be like, you know, if I had something that worked out really well, and I'd be like, I'm going to take care of the people that helped bring this to life. So, I hope that answers your question. Like I was saying, generally speaking, I don't like the idea of things made for comics with the goal to sell it. But, and I know there's a lot of shills out there pulling that crap, but I don't think that's Mark Millar. I'd love to run across his attention and have him hit me up and be like, "Hey, let's make a comic together, dude." I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, we will." Yo, what's up, Ginger? Nate wants to draw Jizz Squad. You know what, Nate? Let's talk. Let's create something fresh and wild. Jizz Squad, issue 1. We'll get Ginger Bear on variant cover duties. Variant count me in. Uncle Ginger. Good take. I really like Garth work. Who Garth? Who? What are we talking about, Garth? Ginger, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? Garth Brooks, of course. Hey, Nate, especially. Tomorrow starts a Christmas miracle on Rob's channel. You're going to get 3 straight days of Rob Liefeld video. This is a new 52 Hawk and Dove series. I was going to do them. I did them all, but I'm like, I broke them up into 3 videos. Oh, yeah, Ginger, your Cintiq. I heard about that, or I saw you writing that. Yeah, that sucks, man. If your thing died on you and you're trying to do the work you want to do, but it's not the tool that you want. Yeah, Rob's Hawk and Dove. It's, again, it's the new 52 Hawk and Dove, not the original one. And it's just the worst. It's just so bad. Nate doesn't want to hear me do any bad mouthing. Yeah, it's his the new 52 stuff. It's just you probably saw on my Instagram. I got it right here. On the second video, I did a tracing of one of his panels. Like, the panel in the book was this right here. Like, girl was hurt and he was comforting her. But I was like, she's straight up and down and he's totally crooked. Let's just trace this out and just take it to its logical conclusion. And I was just like, that's just magical. It's just so great. Like, when it's like that, I guess you're not thinking about it. But when you finish it off, and when I just realized it looked like he was falling over. It's like, catch me, bitch. He's got wings. You're right? He's flapping around. Oh, that's what we should have been doing. His little flappy bird wing thing. See, Nate knows how to shut me down. I should learn to just not challenge Nate. Take that, hater. I know, I need to learn. I need to be put in my place. Thank you, he said. That's great. Oh, shit. God damn it. Garbage can. Yeah, Nate, the rogue piece was good. I mean, she was wearing way too many clothes. I told you I expected to see Savage Land Rogue like everyone else does, but if you want to stand on principle or whatever. You drew it with post clarity. I know what you mean. Like, I'm trying to make art here. I'm not trying to make wank stain material. Uh-oh, he retracted his statement. Should get to see some finished Chuck inks on my pages in the next day or two. He says he's about ready to have the first 3 pages done tomorrow or the next day, and he's ready for another one. Oh, shit. Yeah, I was going to show you Ginger. It's kind of a low resolution. Me and Chuck were having a long ass conversation earlier today about some stuff. But here it is. Yeah. That's he made this thing look pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. He's rocking it. Let's see. He was messaging me telling me that when he gets done inking this girl, she's going to be hot as hell. And he wasn't wrong. Am I worried about page-to-page inking content? I mean, not really. I mean, it's going to stand out, but I mean, that's what I did in my other book, and other comics are done that way. And I'm not trying to dump every page onto Chuck. I'm going to give him all the fun ones, but I don't know. It might bug some people, but I don't imagine it being a big deal. You know, comics are done with different inkers all the time. So, some people might notice, some people might not. I mean, Chuck's stand out, like, you know, in the Master's End, like Ginger talking about there. You know, Chuck's pages stand out. It seems pretty obvious. Like, it's just suddenly like, this looks different, looks cleaner and better. But I don't think it ruins the experience. I don't think so. I hope not. Well, I want my inking to look like Image comic stuff. I want that, like, you know, Scott Williams, Matt Banning, Danny Meeke stuff. And that's what I try to go for, but I don't have the skills to pull it off. But that's what I'm leaning towards. And plus, you know, my art inked by myself definitely looks one way, and my art inked by Chuck definitely looks a different way. And it's him and I are you know, our work is gelling. We were actually talking about this earlier today too, me and him, that it's becoming, you know, it's becoming our art. It's becoming a unique thing that's neither exactly just one of us alone. It's a unique thing that is made by us. And so it's a collaborative thing, and I think it works great. I think it looks, you know. So blah, 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 bling, 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 blah. Not really, and I guess we'll see how people, you know, if people react in any kind of way to it, but I'd be fine if Chuck wanted to ink the whole thing, but just to kind of help move some of the pages along, we kind of talked about and agreed that I'd handle a few and he'd handle. It's kind of, he can handle whatever he wants is how I've got it, and whatever he, you know, I don't want him to feel overloaded or overburdened or anything like that. So. And Estrada. I am as ready for Christmas as I'm gonna be, because there ain't no thing to do about it now as it is. It's like, well, you're either ready now or you're not. Got my kids in the other room playing video games or something. And Estrada, who you said? How old are they? Who is they? Who are you referring to? My oldest son is 12 years old. Yeah, all this talk of Superman has got him on my brain, and you know, it's going to be so hard for any movie maker to make a Superman movie that surpasses the Christopher Reeve one for me. I mean, it's such a high benchmark. They just got everything right, in my opinion. And I feel like it still holds up. Man, you can't go wrong with the John Williams score. I have never seen Red One, so I can't speak on that personally. Ethan, what book am I working on? God, I can't remember if I already answered this. Just my own comic that I'm doing. Nate, you better not be talking shit on Star Trek movies. I will fly out to Australia to kick you straight in the nuts. I'll see if Ginger Bear can hook me up with a plane ticket. He's got a wife that works for airlines, right? That's how that works. Yeah, see, Ginger Bear, I agree with you. I mean, they looked like they were made of wool or whatever, and looked like they were maybe hot as hell. But I like that kind of naval tradition kind of uniform better than those like the ones in the original movie. Like Captain Kirk looked like he was like a dentist or something, with that short sleeve shirt. But those uniforms they kind of settled on, I think they work just really well. It's worth it. I'll come to you with you to pound some sense into Nate. Oh my gosh. See, Nate? We're going to have an international ass whooping. Or, ironically, Nate will kick the shit out of us and it'll just be embarrassing all the way around. Either way, sounds like a good time. Nate. This is why I love Nate. He says stuff like that. Hey, Ginger Bear, did you see that new, 7 or 8 minute little Star Trek short film that they just released recently with the de-aging of Kirk? Did you see that thing floating around? I can't remember if we talked about this. I know I've talked about it on the channel. I just can't remember if I talked about it with you. If you are into Star Trek at all. Yeah, it touched all the feels. It made me go, God damn it, I really like these characters, and I wish that they were not gone and done, and there was some way to get more stories from them. It hit all the feels, man. I was just so simple, and the fact that they had Shatner doing some of the the motion capture work made it feel really authentic. I wish they could have incorporated some actual Star Trek music in it, but I understand that why they can't do that. But oh yeah, Ginger, you know what? That makes sense. I get that too. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this. I've been pondering the passage of time a lot recently. My age, my parents' age, all that stuff. I haven't gone through what you have, so I'm not comparing it to that. But Yeah, yeah, like I'm just, let me think. Let me look at a calendar here. I'm like literally 2 weeks out from my 48th birthday. So, yeah. It's weird how that time just keeps marching on, and it's like, I swear to God, it wasn't that long ago that I was just in my late 20s, and then I was in my 30s, and everything was cool, and everything was fine, and suddenly I'm staring at 50, and I'm like, oh, I'm an old man. This sucks. But that's part of the reason why I push so hard on this damn comic shit. Like, seize the moment. Now will never come again. Every day I waste sitting around bitching about shit is another day I'm not making a thing. That's right. That's the reason for punish. Seize the moment before I can't. Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with you. We'll put out some punish and some dick in a jar and Shockula. He's putting out his what the hell? I forget the name of his book. Primal. What? I'm gonna feel embarrassed. I literally have a shirt with the title of it. Primal Strike. Right. I was gonna say Primal Rage, but no. We could make a little imprint of our 3 books with an umbrella kind of house title, I guess. Well, I mean, we could. I think Shockula floated that idea, and I think he was dead serious. And I think it's an option to consider. Robin, Chuck, and Ginger Bear, and Shockula. Yeah, something like that. I have one demand. Is that in the top corner box? Looking for an example? Son of a bitch. You know, in the top corner box, it's a jar with a dick in it. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make that demand. We got to be able to like actually put our books out there. Maybe we make it an abstracty shape. But no, I wouldn't try to like overrun the whole concept or anything like that. But dick in a box, right? Yeah. See. Oh yeah, I remember last time we were coming up with like potential names. It was like our names all mashed together into one. Ginger bear, that's fun. Let's do like a zoomed in close up shot of like the head of that thing, and we'll call it like, you know, Snake Studios or something like that, or Wet Worm Studios. But we will know what it is. Oh man. Sandworm Studio. Fucking this up before I keep touching it. This is where I need a digital tablet. I really fucked up the perspective on this girl's arm. Like, she's got this giant fucking mutant arm. I think I need to go in and white out and thin it up. It's way too big. I gotta fix that. It just looks weird. Oh yeah, I forgot. Are you taking us somewhere there? Ginger, obviously, clearly. If you're packing. Yeah, I ain't going digital. I can see the advantage, but I ain't doing it. Disney World for 3 days. Jealous. Never been. I've never been anywhere. Well, have fun packing, dude. Your flights are free. You better go.
It's only a paper moon hanging over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Now it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's the melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without
Hey man, how's it going?
love, it's the melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. No, it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. I've got the world.
I review indie books all the time. If you look on my channel, there's a playlist dedicated to nothing but that.
What a world, what a life.
In fact, I did one just a week ago.
I've got a song that I sing, I can make the rain fall anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life is a beautiful thing.
And I do not just image books. There's Marvel, there's some DC. Just anything I think is interesting. But yes, there's a large contingent of image books because that's the shit that I got when I was a teenager because it was fun.
Sitting on a rainbow, like a string around my finger. What a world, what a life, if I'm in love.
Yeah, what's up, Bubba? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Ink, you're always going to struggle to find something that's super black. It never really comes out completely black. If you look at any original artwork and all the big black areas filled in, it's always kind of like not a jet black thing. You always have to adjust those levels in the computer after the fact. Um, just as like something to consider. It never goes on 100% black, and then if you erase over it, sometimes you pull some of that off. But I use this Dr. Phil Martin's. I guess I shouldn't try and tip it without the lid on. This one, Dr. Phil Martin's matte. The matte color, because there's a regular and then the matte color. I like this because it's more of a dull black. I don't like the shiny black that some inks have. But yeah. Black Star Matte. But yeah, it's Dr. Phil Martin is the brand. That one, and I heard of this from a professional inker, the guy that inks Greg Capullo a lot, Jonathan Galapian. I heard him mention it, and so I happened to find a bottle at my local art store, so I grabbed it, and I loved it instantly as compared to some of the other shit that I get. So that's kind of what I dig. Um, you gotta just clean your brush. You gotta have a good brush, and you gotta clean it. Some of these inks have, I don't know. I don't know what's in them. I've heard that some of the shinier inks have a lot of high carbon, not carbs, carbon, high carbon content, and that makes them shinier. I don't know if that affects how it fucks up your brush. I am not the one to talk to about brush care because I just buy packs of cheap garbage brushes like this. This came in a pack of like 10 for $7, and usually several of them will hold a decent point for a good amount of time. And then, I rinse them out in water and, try to take care of them. But some people like clean their brushes with shampoos or cleaners, or some people, God, somebody was telling me recently about the way that they maintained their brush. They said a brush that's like 20 years old, and because of the way that they maintain it. But I just buy garbage brushes and then use them until they die, which is not long. They die fast, but they're so cheap, I just move on to a next garbage brush. Yeah, that's another reason I'm not one that's good with brush care. I don't want to stop and go clean it. So I rinse it out in a cup of water and then wipe it off on a paper towel. Like I've got one sitting right next to me. And then I always kind of like I'll go into my water like I'm going to do right now. And I swish it in the water. And then I'll come over to my paper towel and I pull it to try and pull the water and scuzzy ink out of it. And then I'll pinch around it to kind of keep forming it to a point. I'll go back onto it with my finger and scratch off the excess that's up around the top where the bristles kind of connect to it to try, kind of keep it clean. And then I'll rinse it out again, just swish it in my water, and then kind of do the same thing where I'm pulling it like that to keep it at a point. And that's as much as I do. And then again, it'll hold a point for a little while, but then one day it just dies. It just splits, it forks. But keep them because those split hair forked brushes give you neat textures and cool shit to do. Yeah, I don't have a brand that I specifically seek out. I just go to my local arts and crafts store. Um, Let me see. And I'll just grab this random shit. See, like I've got these here. And all these ones with these microscopic tips, they're useless. So it's kind of only these ones over here. Mainly this one, like these two. These are the ones with really, like the smaller, those are pointless. But this thing only cost me $6, and I've already pulled a brush or two out of it. And I grabbed this thing. This was hyper cheap. I don't even know. I just look and see what's there and just grab them because they're inexpensive. So I don't really. Yeah, you can get them probably at Staples or something. I go to this place. There's a place here in Utah called Hobby Lobby, and there's also a Michael's Arts and Crafts. They should have them. That's what I do, but that's not advice from, you know, that's not professional inker advice. That's just what I do because, like you're saying, I don't want to be fucking over here cleaning my brushes. And you could buy a really expensive brush, $30, $40, but then if you don't take care of it, then it dies and you just wasted the money, so why bother? And I know I won't take care of it, so I'll just stick to the junk. And also, honestly, um, there are an array of brush tip, like this is a Pentel pocket pen. These are pretty fucking good. And there's other types out there that can get the same effect as a brush that you dip in ink. And this one's refillable. You just like unscrew it and replace the cartridge. Honestly, this is a way to go. I don't fill in blacks with these. I just do like, you know, the fun juicy lines that I need thin to thick and get a brush tip effect. But when I fill in the blacks, I will use a brush. But then I'll go back and forth just because I have a lot of brushes and I want to use up my ink. But, I just switch back and forth between, brush pens and actual brushes like we were just talking about. So it's just kind of digging through shit you can find, and finding what works for you. Yeah, that's kind of what I've become. Just like I was saying, that's kind of what I do. Though I don't I do that with brushes, not with all my. There are other supplies that I have learned, like get the nice tool, like the nice paper for me. I've got to have nice paper. I got to have nice pencils, um, things like that. But when it comes to brushes, like you were saying, I just need it to hold a point for at least a little while. And then once it dies, I move on because I only spent $6 on this pack. I'm not worried about it. But so, there are some things where you're like, I need higher quality stuff.
the help of Intuit QuickBooks, we are able this season to grant $10,000 to our brothers.
Yeah, like this cheap ass brush is actually holding a decent point, and I'm kind of happy with it for the moment. It's not going to last too many sessions, but while it's working, you know, especially if I get it and I bust out the cheap brush and it's working, I'm like, well, it's functioning really well. Start doing all the shit you want to do. Like, you know, start utilizing it while it's going good. It sucks to have to fight your tools, but you want to minimize fighting your tools as much as possible, but it seems like there's always some version of that. KO Joe. Season's greetings. Thanks, Riggs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Spend Christmas Day and watch Skeleton Crew, certified fresh. It perfectly captures the fun.
already paid.